Well, hello and welcome back to the Force Friday show where we discuss all things Star Wars. Joining me as ever today is Stephen to discuss a whole variety of interesting little Star Wars headlines. Stephen, the primary one this week is all about director Taika Waititi saying that Star Wars show The Mandalorian is going to be closer in tone to, it says the OG, but the original trilogy. We all know that stands for original. Well, I do anyway. So that's very interesting, Stephen. He goes into great depth about obviously just what that means to the fans, the tone, this very specific kind of a comedy. You don't want to overdo it with too many jokes. He has a little dig at I think Rian Johnson, perhaps. Obviously The Last Jedi was criticised for having a very MCU Marvel tone, and he does have a little dig in there that it's not the Marvel style. It's very different to the Marvel style, is his exact words. So what the hell do you make of this? Are you happy about that?
Well, that comment first, John, I actually thought, I don't think it was having a dig as such to anyone in particular, but I think one of the things that was missing from Rogue One, which is part of that original trilogy era, was apart from the robot, I can't remember his name, the droid.
Oh Christ.
I can't remember his name.
That's
okay. I can see him as well.
K2SO.
That's it, the very one. Apart from his comedic one-liners, there wasn't a lot of humour in it. But there wasn't the time and place.
Yeah, it was a very dark film.
But just getting back to the point that the director's making here is that when you look back at A New Hope in particular, A New Hope, there was a lot of chemistry between the big three. And there was a lot of humour as well, and it wasn't misplaced. You're right. I think there is maybe a slight dig at Rian Johnson's Marvel humour, as a lot of fans like to call it.
Yeah, the prank call
seemed to be a bit out of place. That the way Hux was portrayed as well as a kind of a comedic villain, which didn't sit. You know, I always thought that he would sort of reach the heights around about the heights of Peter Cushing's character.
He went from a Joseph Goebbels sort of a Adolf orator, menacing
to Freddie Starr portraying Hitler. Yeah,
been an absolute joke. Yeah, like the producers.
Yeah, well like that. Yeah.
It's springtime for Hitler in Germany.
But it's a great article, John. It's good to see that, and I don't think he's going to be the only director that gets Star Wars and gets that feel of the original trilogy. No. There's a whole host of directors in there.
One Dave Filoni in particular.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I think he's going to excel in this production. But it's good to see. It was good also to have a little recap in that article with Jon Favreau's tweet in regards to the I don't think it's the opening scroll as such.
It's just a kind of a plot synopsis, but he's done it in the traditional style of the screen crawl.
And it just gives you a feel to it's going to kind of bridge a gap between the episode 6 and episode 7, that big gap, 30-year gap. I don't know how long or what the length of time of the period of this series is going to span over. But just getting back to the article, John, and getting back to those images again of the Mandalorian, that outfit as well, just reminds how cool it looks. It's going to have a real Western feel to it. I always felt that A New Hope, particularly the scenes in Mos Eisley, was very Western inspired. Going into the local saloon, which was the cantina. Just you know, all the variety of characters that were in there.
A hive of scum and villainy. Yeah, very much like a Western, Stephen. It was a hodgepodge of a whole host of different genres and sort of ideas. It was a space opera in a certain. What was a space opera?
And the fact that the director as well he does mention, you know, Star Wars is a very different to the Marvel style. He gets that as well. It's not just man babies that pick these things out, you know, and awkward, you know, fanboys. You know, accomplished directors know the difference between certain humour and certain films and certain tones, and he gets that.
His signature humour is a dry humour, as it does say in this article, and they're suggesting that it may not make it into the series because of his comments about it. But he does say that they do know the tone of the first films, aka the Star Wars fans, and that they really should be adhered to. And that the fans like that, and that's what they like essentially, and that you can't really disrespect it. And he's basically saying this is a nicer way of saying you can't put too many jokes in there. It's got a degree of comedy within, that's just the nature of the characters in the original trilogy, but they're not hitting you over the face with it, it's not on the nose. But he's saying that there's a bit of his tone in there, but with the dialogue and stuff like that, but there isn't going to be that dry kind of a wit and humour that we've seen in the likes of Thor Ragnarok, and I think The Hunt for the Wilder People Sure it was.
Yeah.
I think
Erwin Kirshner, even in the darkest episode, The Empire Strikes Back, knew how to use the humour.
Yeah.
And some of the situations, Han and Leia and the droids.
Plug them into the hyperdrive.
Yeah, even in those, very harrowing situations that they found themselves in, the tone of humour was just right. Yeah. And I'm glad to be reading this because it did.
I thought they smelt bad in the inside or the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't get any graver. Looks nice and really teetering on the edge.
So bleak, wasn't it? Yeah. But it's just going to be good because I think when you see things like these articles coming in, it does fill you with a lot of confidence knowing that it's going to have that same feel to it because it is that period. It's just after 7 or 8 years, I think it is, after Return of the Jedi. Yeah. And to have that kind of tone in there from the kick-off is going to it's going to be very interesting to see where it takes it and where the story is going to take this main character as well. Yeah, because we don't really know a lot about the character, John, either. No. We don't know what his intentions are or what his purpose is at this stage. Precisely,
that takes me into the final thing I was going to say on this one, Stephen. When I first read the headline, without going too skin deep and actually reading the comments from Taika himself, I was slightly concerned when he says it's going to adhere to the original trilogy tone because whilst that is the holy grail for Star Wars, I was worried how that would mesh and marry with the character of obviously the Mandalorian, this lone gunslinger hanging around and also doing some interesting things in the Outer Rim regions of the galaxy, the regions which are obviously lawless, not really touched upon by the ruling hand of the Emperor and the Empire. So that I would have liked to have seen being a little bit more darker, a little bit more violent. But there's a limit to what you're going to get with Disney.
I think the good, the bad and ugly though. That adds humour in it.
True.
Just at the right moment.
It certainly did, yeah. Obviously the moment where he's getting strung up on the tombstone at the end, plays on what a fiddle and then shoots from afar. Yeah. One of my all-time favourite films, absolutely love Clint Eastwood. If you've not been watching our stuff, I'm letting you know right now, I always throw little things in there about Clint. He's the man. Kurt Russell as well, yeah. Absolutely infatuated with that guy. We'll not go there, Stephen. Nope. But look, man, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's just reading the whole list of actors that are involved in this, the likes of Giancarlo Esposito, Nick Nolte, Gina Carano. I mean, I cannot wait, man.
Carol Weathers as
well. Yeah, Carol Weathers,
as well. Paulo.
So I cannot wait to see what the hell this is going to be like, Stephen. I think this is going to, in a sense, replace the movies for next year. I definitely think I don't think we're going to get a movie.
And I don't think we'll mind either.
We won't, no. If it's done right, we're getting essentially 3 films instead of 1 because it's 10 hours of content instead of 2. Yeah. So look, I've not got much more to add. It's all very interesting. Great to hear Taika discussing his small little role in this new series. But I'm going to move on to the next topic. This one's very interesting, Stephen. It's all about Star Wars trying to turn Darth Vader into an anti-hero. In the same brackets, that's very bad. Well, I mean, in a way I can agree with that. It's very bad. Yeah. Very, very bad. I can agree to an extent, but then I can also see the flip side of the argument. They have to introduce this character to a new generation of younger audience members who don't want to hear about 6'9" towering figures and mauling them in their sleeps. Yeah, because obviously he's scythed down a lot of younglings and they deserve to be scythed down for being given that title. I don't know who came up with that. If that was you, George, good Lord, you deserve to be scythed down by Darth Vader, but look, I'm not that type of guy. I digress, I'm going off on a tangent again, Stephen. I can see what they're saying. He cannot be turned into an anti-hero. He is the most famous and perhaps the best villain in cinematic history. He's a villain through and through until his son turns him back to the light at the end. That would totally... it would retcon Luke's entire arc in the original trilogy.
It's already been done as far as I'm concerned, John. I'm going to paraphrase here in the words of George Lucas. Episodes 1, 2 and 3 are the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. And we all know who Anakin Skywalker turned into. When those films were released, that was when the character was more fleshed out. Yeah. I'm old enough to remember one Star Wars film, and Darth Vader was the 2D villain in it. He wasn't even the main villain in it. Well, he was, but it was more of the henchman to...
the Emperor, Chief Palpatine.
Not even him, because he was
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Tarkin, you know.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
It was his kind of bitch.
He was.
You know, he was on a leash. You know.
If you've read the novels that subsequently came out after Disney have took over, Stephen, you'll quickly understand there's a hierarchy within the Empire.
So regardless of what you think of Episode 1, 2 and 3, and how it was delivered, and some of the effects were pretty redundant now, especially Episode 2, which looks like a PlayStation game.
Still introduced some great characters though.
Yeah, regardless of what you think of the films, the actual story and the actual story of Anakin Skywalker is one to be witnessed. His decline, it just wasn't executed well enough. But it was taking that young boy from a slave planet, exposing him to the sort of greater galaxy and the characters that were in there. Giving him that kind of power as well, and not just giving him the lightsaber, but exposing him to his potential as well was very interesting. And then the downfall, when he was having the visions of Padme dying.
And Shmi,
as well,
that's one of my favourite scenes in that whole prequel trilogy. When he goes back to Tatooine and just wrecks the shot with the Sand People. They deserve that. Utter C-U-N-T, Stephen, as we like to say.
And I always call them Sand People. I don't call them Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, they are Sand People. Yeah.
I don't know when that name came in, but I always called them Sand People.
Yeah, I think that was
but I digress, John. And that was when the character, for me, became an anti-hero, because you were starting to relate to the character's downfall. And I think by the time Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, those closing scenes when Vader's unmasked, there is a sympathetic feel to the character as well, regardless of what he's done in the past, which is a bit ridiculous, because in real life he certainly wouldn't be that forgiving, but that's the way it was wrapped up. He was wrapped up as a tragic figure, and
he was.
We talked about in previous shows about these comic strips that have been being released over the last few months in regards to the Vader series, and how much we're enjoying reading these comics, John. Again, it's fleshing out his conflict with the Force, his pining for Padme to be with her once again.
I don't think Padme would want anything to do with Darth after what he pulled, trying to choke her when she's pregnant, turning to the dark side, implicating her in a
calling her a liar.
Political mess that would make water. No, it wasn't Watergate, Stephen. That was it was the one with what's his face? Get caught with it was Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, it'd make that look like a
playtime.
Implicating her in that political mess, man. Look, I digress. That's again, I'm going off on a tangent. I'll go back to what I was going to discuss, Stephen. You're absolutely right about the prequel trilogy in a sense, humanising this figure and making him less villainous, less 2D. Just the overreaching arc of just the prequel trilogy, episode 1 through to episode 6. I had to think about that there, which is concerning.
And throw in Rogue One.
Yeah, and Rogue One. Just seeing the complete arc of this man, the rise and fall of Anakin.
It also does humanise him. Rebels as well.
And Rebels,
so.
Yeah, but it does, you're right, it humanised him before even these comics had the chance to humanise him through his force manipulation, getting into realms.
But there is a fine line, like you said, John, where you go with that. And I can't see both sides of the argument.
Yeah, I'll get into the flip side right now before we move on very quickly, Stephen. The flip side is also it's a different generation, it's a different era of filmmaking, it's a different society now. People are less innocent in their view of the world now. It's very much more grey instead of black and white. Of course, the original Star Wars and Star Wars as a whole, as a universe, as a galaxy, is very much black and white, the light and the dark.
Yeah, the good guys, the bad guys,
But as they do say, Kylo Ren, this generation's villain, is very much an anti-hero, sort of a villain. He's in the grey, he's conflicted, he's a very turbulent figure. He's dancing between the dark and the light. And we've seen it with a whole host of other characters, as they do say, even in the Marvel MCU. The likes of Tony Stark, he's not a holier-than-thou good guy. And then you've got the dark side, Thanos is not a dark, menacing villain. You can understand his viewpoint, he's got his reasons. So, fleshing these villainous characters out, making them less 2D, making them a more 3D, wholesome figure, with reasons and just human issues and stuff like that, pining away from a loved one or whatnot. It's kind of a human, it's something that's getting done in this generation, and it's just, again, a reflection of today's society. It's changing. The 70s was a very different era. It was
I think that's what today's society want. They require it. If you don't do it, then you're in the wrong for not doing it.
Exactly. You want more complex characters throughout all movie and all films
people want
and all trilogies and franchises.
People want a greater understanding of characters nowadays than than they did in the past.
Stephen, you would never get away with what they've done with the Emperor, for instance, just introducing this character out of the shadows and not giving you an idea of where he's from or whatnot. That's why people were so up in arms with what they've done, the utilisation of Snoke and how they handled that character in The Last Jedi. They didn't want to see another Emperor Mark II, they wanted to see this guy's origins. Is he Plagueis? I wanted him to be Plagueis. Because I thought that would have been an incredible twist on also the Emperor, Sheev Palpatine.
Some people wanted him to be Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, I wouldn't have wanted that. But just to see this character coming back from the dead after Sheaf was talking about how he killed him in his sleep, ironic how
I think it would have tied it in nicely, but
it would have been much better, and again it would have been another complex villainous character being fleshed out. But look, I'm giving it away, Stephen. I can see both sides of the argument, but at the end, I don't think Darth Vader is an anti-hero. He's a villain through and through until his son redeems him at the end of the Return of the Jedi. But look, I'm going to move on to the next topic. This one I think will be a little bit less in depth, a little shorter and sweet. It's all about Star Wars shorts, incidentally. Are making a mighty fine case for animated versions of the films. And they are, Stephen. It's this Galaxy of Adventures series, once again. These short little minute and a half long snippets of obviously cartoon. It's almost like the original Clone Wars series.
It certainly is, I'm just looking at it now,
and these two ones are highlighting in this is also the interaction in the duel between Yoda and Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus, and then also
from Attack of the Clones,
from Attack of the Clones, and Luke and Darth Vader on Bespin Cloud City, and it's just embellishing these.
It's slightly exaggerated, isn't it?
Slightly exaggerated. We've got Luke pirouetting through the air and taking the fight to Vader, when in reality, Vader in The Empire Strikes Back played him like a fiddle. He brought him in as a trap to get him into the hands of the Emperor, because he's an out-and-out villain. And played him like a fiddle, one-handedly. I was about to say one there, that's a slang term in Scotland. Don't want to go into that. One-handedly holding the lightsaber. And he was just playing him like a fiddle, Stephen, until Luke got the glancing shot onto his shoulder, and then he went into full-on ferocious mode. Subsequently took his hand off. So embellishing it, but it's very, very cool. The artistic style, it's just great for the younger audience, brilliant for people like me who's on the brink of 30. In fact, by the time this show hits, Stephen, because it is pre-recorded, I'm going to throw that out there, I will already be 30, sadly. So, but again, it's great for people my age. We get to enjoy this, even though we're adults, Stephen. It's fantastic, the animation.
I like it.
I love to see all these different artistic styles. I enjoyed that about Resistance, Clone Wars, Rebels. They've all got the place, and I'd love to see this being expanded out in
a lot of people want to see the original films recreated in this sort of style. I kind of get that. It would be interesting, but kind of, what's the point? The only point I would say that would probably fit if they want to maybe do adventures of maybe Luke Skywalker or something like that after Return of the Jedi, keeping that style, and then it would be a continuation of the same sort of medium. It would work in that sense, because it's the only way you're really going to get to see the likes of Luke Skywalker
being portrayed by Mark Hamill.
Well, he could voice. They could do the voice for him, or just get Sebastian Shaw. Stan. The other one played Anakin.
Yeah, he played Anakin at the end.
But I'd like to see that. But listen, the style, I like the style as well, and it does. You're right, it does remind me of that original Clone Wars
series from the 2000s,
the early ones, you know. But it's fantastic.
Christopher Lee played a big part in voicing. Did he? No,
I think he might have. I'd have to look back, John. But
I think he played Dooku.
They're clearly using the audio from the films in these clips as well. It's obviously, I was going to say it's very identical. It is, because it is taken from the audio from the films. But I like it. Whether or not I'd like to see a full film that I already know and love, and that style, very pointless to me. I'll just go and watch the live action. But introducing it to a new audience in this format could work. Yeah,
I have to say, I wouldn't want to see a reworking of the original trilogy. The films we've already seen in this style. I would rather see them do a whole film, perhaps in that style, something different. Again, seeing all the different artistic styles, we've seen it with the likes of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. And you can utilise a whole myriad of different animation techniques and styles within one film and have it work very nicely indeed. So
this is an initiative, that's a hard word for me to say, from Lucasfilm. It's called Star Wars Kids. So we know who this is aimed at, and I think kids would get a kick out of this if they were to do it in that sense. Absolutely. You know, do it with full feature films, because I can remember a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away in the 1970s when I first saw A New Hope. The presence of Vader was terrifying for, you know, a young boy. Kids nowadays are
mollycoddled.
They're a little bit more sensitive, and I think maybe this is a good way of maybe introducing them to Star Wars.
Stephen too. It wasn't quite as far back as that, sadly. Well, I say sadly, I'm kind of glad because I'm younger. It was the 1990s for me, early to mid 90s, and seeing Vader for the first time, wasn't really scared of him, Stephen. I was more in awe of the man. I was more scared when he was popping up in my dreams and chasing me around Bestman when I was playing.
You were already exposed to Freddy Krueger at that point.
I was exposed to Freddy Krueger, the horrors of Freddy Krueger, and Tim Curry's It. So when you've seen Tim Curry's Pennywise trapping a woman, masquerading as a grandparent or a grandmother, and trapping a imperiled woman behind a gate, and then this is kids' fair. Child's Play.
Darth Vader,
Darth Vader. But he's still a great film and I absolutely love the man. I love James Earl Jones and I love Darth Julius Vader, to quote one Mark Ellis. Stephen, but we're going to move on because it's a very short topic. To the next and final topic of this week's Force Friday show. This one is all about Star Wars fan receiving an awesome gift. A Star Wars fan, I should say, although the title doesn't say A.
No, just say Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Receiving an awesome gift from Jon Favreau. This is all about a guy called...
Alexandra Neelis.
Alexandra Neelis.
Nihus,
yeah. Should have changed that to Nihilus, the classic Force Sith from the Old Republic. But I digress. I think it was from the Old Republic. But this guy turned up to an awards ceremony. I believe it was the DGA awards ceremony, and he met Jon Favreau, of course, the executive producer of The Mandalorian, who subsequently, after I presume he revealed himself to be a Star Wars fan, gave him a neat and nifty little Mandalorian executive producer coin. This is an incredible little piece, Stephen. Obviously it's got the Mandalorian helmet on one side with the neat little symbols on it. You turn it round and it's got the symbol of Mandalore, or the Mandalorian symbol on the other side. An incredible little gift, an incredible, first of all, an incredible
gesture.
Yeah, that's the word, from Favreau to actually give this over to a complete nobody and a fan. It was an incredible gesture from the man. It shows you the kindness of him. But what a thing for this guy.
I think as well, John, this article comes from cleverly titled fanthatracks.com. Quite like that. And they actually closed the article by saying hopefully John will bring a dumper truck full of these to Celebration Chicago in 65 days' time. Who knows? I don't think they will. I think these are going to be very rare.
Yeah. It's going to be like a golden ticket from Willy Wonka.
Yeah. And this boy, Alexandra, I think he's just been
the son of Jon Favreau.
He does, yeah. But he's just been in the right place at the right time, hasn't he? Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't, good enough that he was, attending this awards show, he then meets Jon Favreau, and if that's not good enough, he then gets handed a gift from Jon Favreau. Yeah. I'm so jealous of this guy, but listen, it's a neat little coin. It's got the Mandalorian helmet on the front there. I don't know what's on the back. What is that?
That's the sign of Mandalore, Stephen. I'm pretty sure that's the Mandalorian symbol. I'm doing it again. I'm looking right at the iPad like I'm some geriatric 90-year-old guy.
Get your glasses on, John.
Yeah, I've not got cataracts. I just kind of want to get down and have a look. I do this from time to time.
That's a neat coin. I wouldn't mind having that myself.
I would absolutely love to have that.
That will be worth an absolute fortune one day, if it's not already.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, I wouldn't be trusted with it because, as I have told you, I have bought Stormtrooper collector's items and I've opened them up in their packet. Sheldon Cooper would be raging at me, although he's a fine one to talk because he, of course, opened up that Star Trek thing. Yeah, the Spock thing, and then he subsequently had dreams. Transporter. I should know that, Stephen, because I was a big fan of Star Trek, and I still am growing up. The original stuff, not so much the Deep Space Nine crap and all that, but this isn't the Star Trek show. This is the Force Friday show, Stephen. I ain't got much more to add. Are we done? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, we'll wrap it up on that note. Thank you once again for watching this, if indeed you have watched it. If you're enjoying the content we're putting out, subscribe, like the video, comment below, and we'll be back next Tuesday with Box Office Chat.